Welcome, wrestling fans, to another edition of WWPWW, the Worldwide Wrestling Podcast of Worldwide Wrestling. It's going to be our last episode for quite a while. Going to go on a sabbatical, hiatus, whatever you want to say. We'll be taking a break over summer. Both of our summers are going to be pretty crazy, so we will probably catch up with you guys around SummerSlam time. So it'll be quite a break, but about 3 months or so. So.
Yep.
But summer's going to be crazy, but they're going to be fun, and we will, of course, still be watching wrestling and keeping up on everything and stuff like that. We're just not going to be doing the podcast.
Yeah. Try our best to, anyway, because, like you said, we're going to be busy. I'm going to be on vacation quite a while, so I probably won't be able to watch wrestling. I know I won't be able to watch Money in the Bank, which is sad, but I'll have to wait until things calm down to watch it by myself.
So this will be the last episode for a while, and so we'll be doing our weekly recaps as usual, and we'll also be just discussing, talking, in generalities, kind of just talking about Money in the Bank and see what, just kind of what we think will happen, what we think should happen, all that kind of good stuff. So, anything you want to, anything in the newsroom that you've heard about or anything you want to bring up or talk about before we jump in? Or
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Nothing I can think of.
All right, cool. Well, we will just jump right into the nitty-gritty, get right down to brass tacks here. So, Monday Night Raw this week, Jeremy. You watched it.
Good.
What did you think of it? What did you like? What didn't you like? What could have been better? All that stuff. What was your overall feeling of it?
I know a lot of people hated this episode of Raw. When I got online to listen to some reviews or to listen to some backlash on it, they hated it, and I don't know if the reason why they hated it was because of the one segment that it just was weird, the Bobby Lashley sisters segment or what, but I didn't even think that was that bad. I thought Sammy did a good job keeping in character. I thought he did a good job being that swarmy host. Did the crowd like it? No, but I thought he was fine. The three quote unquote sisters. I mean, I'm assuming they're enhancement talent. I don't know who they exactly are. So if they're enhancement talent, or if they are actually in NXT trying to come up into wrestling, then they haven't really had a whole lot of promo work, and so they did the best they could. I think the worst part was Bobby Lashley. Sadly, he just doesn't have a character.
Yeah. And
I don't know who's writing for him, but this isn't good for him. They need to do something else, is basically what I'm trying to say with Bobby. But as far as everything else, I thought Finn and Braun did an okay job, but I do feel like it was really, really slow, and I don't know if they went out there and they realized, hey, we need to expand the time, because it felt like that match could have been a lot shorter. But I liked it. I liked Braun setting up for the around the world type thing. He looked at the crowd, was like, did his little finger thing. I was like, yeah, he's actually going to continue this. This is going to be awesome. And then he goes around, and then he gets into the what's that called? The
Sling Blade?
Sling Blade.
Yeah.
Into Finn. So I thought that was pretty clever.
That was cool.
I liked when Finn came out to the ring and just knocks Elias out. I thought that was pretty fun. So I thought everything about the main event was good. I think they were probably trying to extend time. Something went short or something. I don't really know. Let's see, what else did I like? I liked the beginning. I thought the opening was pretty well done. I love what they're doing with Stephanie. With what happened in the beginning and then the contract signing, Stephanie, getting under both ladies' skin, which make them look dumb, which is sad. Because it's like
but at least they both look dumb.
Yeah, and that's a great point, because they both are just like
they're putting over Stephanie as
yes.
a manipulator. So
yeah.
that was good. Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, both those ladies would know exactly what was being done. But I thought the segment was well done. I thought Um, the build of Stephanie being that, like you said, that manipulator, the conniving boss. I thought that was really, really good. I don't know where they're going to go. I don't know. I'm most intrigued about this match at Money in the Bank. I mean, I'm going to enjoy the Money in the Bank matches themselves because they're always good. But I'm really intrigued about this match. If something is going to happen, either Stephanie coming out and interfering in the match some way so that Nia keeps the belt. Because I don't think they need to put one. Ronda never needs the belt because she's the attraction.
Mm-hmm.
That's how Roddy Piper was used. He had one belt as far as I remember. He won the Intercontinental belt at the Royal Rumble '92, I think. And I don't think he had any other belts in WWE. He was the attraction. Ronda can be the attraction. People will come to watch Ronda even if she doesn't have a belt.
Mm-hmm.
And so she doesn't need the belt right now, especially not right now. So I hope something happens. I hope because I know they're building for Stephanie and Ronda as the Stone Cold to her Vince type thing. So I hope they do that at Money in the Bank because I still would like to see Nia have the belt for a bit. I don't know how long.
And also, I usually don't like babyface versus babyface feuds.
Yes.
Yeah. Just sometimes they don't work. Heel versus heel feuds can be cool, but like most of the time, babyface versus babyface feuds don't work out well. And usually when they happen, it's just because of a storyline thing.
Yeah, I think it could be done well. For instance.
Oh, totally.
For instance, SmackDown when they had Jeff versus Daniel Bryan. I want to see that. I want to see a bigger story between those two. It was a great match. It was well done, and Daniel can play the babyface, but also not necessarily the heel, but he could work the heel, and because he always does that, he always gets worked up in his match. He's always get that angry face on, and so I think Jeff versus Daniel as face versus face would work. But you're right, you don't always want to see that because the character doesn't necessarily work that way at times. But I think there are small circumstances like Jeff versus Daniel. Jeff's kind of playing a weird character right now. I like it. The whole talk on SmackDown, we'll talk about that later. But the whole cerebral stuff, like the brain, is like, okay, you're weird. But back to Raw. I like what they're doing with Stephanie and the build they're doing with her and Ronda. I like the build that they've done with Ronda versus Nia, even though it's a little too soon. But I think that's the point. I look forward to seeing where they go with it. But again, back to the beginning. I like the opener. Roman, again, he's not great on the mic, but he did okay. He was serviceable. What else happened in Raw that I wanted to talk about? I thought Sarah Logan looked better than she's looked in a while. Liv looked pretty good in their match. Natalya goes on to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I like what they're going to do next week with the gauntlet match for the women.
That'll be cool. That'll be cool.
Because I'm assuming they're going to have to. I don't know if they're going to break up the Riot Squad, but I'm assuming they're going to have that tension there. And so that'll be interesting to see who they throw in, how they throw that together, or if they're all going to be in the middle type thing, and see who wins against them. I'd like to see a finger poke of death, Doom, or whatever it's called. I'd like to see that. That'd be kind of fun. That both of them lay down for Ruby. I think that would be really, really fun to watch.
That would be cool. Yeah.
I can't remember anything else on Raw. What about you?
I liked the opening a lot too. I thought it was good. I like what they're doing with Stephanie. Usually, I'm pretty annoyed by the presence of any McMahon. Sans Shane because I really like Shane.
Yep.
Usually, it's kind of annoying, but what they're doing here is done really well. Ever since the build up to the Mania match with Ronda, Stephanie hasn't annoyed me, and she's done a really good job, and I've quite enjoyed it. And this is the same kind of thing. It was a good opening, and I liked it. I enjoyed it, and then I loved Kevin Owens coming to bat for Roman. That was funny.
Kevin was gold during that segment.
That was awesome. And then how he just goes over, stands next to Stephanie, and puts his, leans up against her, she just gives him the evil eyes. Like, that was funny.
Don't you ever do that again.
And then he's just like, duly noted or whatever he said, or, he said something kind of like that. Like their match was pretty good.
Yeah.
It ended via DQ to set up, Rollins came out. That dude, holy crap, he was going 100 miles an hour during all this. Like, that dude, holy cow.
Before you say something else, I'm sorry. Something I remember now that you say that was that whole segment was it the first hour?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how they did the gauntlet match, and they had that was a whole hour plus, wasn't it?
Yeah, like several months ago when they did that. Yeah.
Yeah, and this had that kind of feel, but it wasn't a gauntlet match, which was really really
this all
clever.
just felt like a big overarching story.
Yeah, it's really clever.
You're
they
right,
did a great job from the beginning of the first hour or however long it took to introduce the story, and then they had a match, and then they had a second match, and it's like, yeah, do more of that. I like that. So I meant to say that, but I forgot about it.
Good point. Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it did have a very good natural progression. All this stuff. So yeah, you're absolutely right. And yeah, I liked the just the one-on-one KO. One of the favorite things I loved about the KO versus Roman, the first match before it ended in DQ and they made it the tag, was when KO was kind of like desperate, and so he like chopped Roman, and like Roman just completely no-sold it and just like looked down at his chest and then looked at him and then just clotheslined him. Like, that was cool. I really, really liked that. Like, that was really rad.
About time he realizes he has that flak jacket on.
I know, yeah. It's just like, dude, you're wearing a Kevlar vest, and he just does like a wimpy little chop, and it like makes kind of a noise. But he just like stood there, like just didn't move at all, looks down, kind of just like, what are you, stupid? And then just clothesline. Like, it was really good. It had some really cool spots. I liked it. These two guys match up really well together. And the tag match was really good because they both got all guys looked good, and it was just really fun. Like, I like this kind of wrestling about like, oh, these two guys we're in a feud, but this other guy's gonna come out, and then then like another guy comes out, and then it's just like just the floodgates are open. It's just like, okay, tag match. It's a tag match now. Like, there's too much stuff going on. Just like, I just like that for some reason, that dynamic of like this random guy comes out and he's like, hey, I'm feuding with this guy. What are you doing? They don't say that, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
Like, hey, what are you doing out here? Like, I have flack with this guy. What are you doing out here? And then she's like, oh, no, I'm just here to... And then he attacks him, and then they have a match, and then another guy comes out and attacks the guy, and so then somebody else comes out to save the first guy, and then, they do it a lot, but it works, and for some reason, I like it. I'm a sucker for it, you know what I mean? Like...
And this is the one of the reasons why they should never, ever break up the Shield.
Yes.
Do this where they go their separate ways. I mean, Seth is doing the Intercontinental Championship thing, and Roman's doing whatever he's doing right now. Kind of fighting the system, but kind of just...
Yeah.
If they would just do exactly what you said, turn him heel, put AOP with him. I think he actually wants to be in a group with his cousins. I do something where he's like this, where he's like, because he's like, if you don't blah blah blah, I'll go in the back and I'll just take everybody out, all your favorite wrestlers. Like, do that.
Yeah.
Like you said,
make him a
months
hitman,
ago.
basically.
Yeah, months ago, and I think people would like him, like him just going through people and just destroying them with AOP. I think that would be brilliant, like you said before.
Just think about if he dethrones Brock.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Like that. Mm-hmm. They're in like a last man standing or Extreme Rules. Like, that's what my fantasy scenario would be at Extreme Rules this year. Extreme Rules match between Brock and Roman. And the Authors of Pain just like jack up Lesnar, and then he just like eats a vicious spear, like maybe through a table or something, and then Roman wins, and then you have this really, really awesome hardcore heel, this brand new awesome cool faction, and then just think if like, think that you could like build up to that, like, have Finn, if he doesn't win the briefcase, have him win the Royal Rumble or something, and then, build up to that at next year Mania, where Finn, beats the new big bad guy, at WrestleMania or something. Like, there's all these stories write themselves, but it seems like they're just kind of playing it by ear now.
Yeah.
Ever since WrestleMania ended, it just seems like they're just kind of playing it, they're just doing it as they go, kind of thing. Yeah. It's weird, I don't get it. But anyways. So yeah, I agree. Like they need to just like if they're not gonna turn him full on heel, at least make him super super hardcore. Like make him like the Punisher. If Raw is the MCU, make him the Punisher. Make him the hardcore. Hey, I take out the bad guys, they don't get back up. Like make him like super hardcore, you know. So.
Agreed.
But and then the Sami Zayn thing with the lashes, it was kind of painful to watch just because it was such like a goofy attitude era. Like ugh.
This is your life, is what it's that whole concept.
I think that was better. The Bailey one. I think that might have been better than this.
Yeah, they just need to stop doing this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like this is your life thing, because it's exactly what it is. It's here's your sister.
And it's a cheap heat. You know.
Yeah.
It's just to get cheap heat and stuff like that. Like I didn't feel like this was like super transphobic or like hateful or anything. Like there were a lot of people who said that. Like I just felt like it was stupid. Like you know, like I didn't feel like it was like malicious or transphobic or like hateful or anything. Like it was just like no, he's a bad guy. He's a jerk. He's making fun of this guy. He's and then these are basically his goons. He's like, oh, dress up like sisters, act like sisters. When he comes out here, beat him up. You know, like so yeah. Yeah, it was just like I praise Sammy for making the best of it and being this funny heel character that he is. He's really making that work. I liked that. I really liked the Ember Moon Alexa Bliss.
Didn't see that.
You didn't see that match?
Nope.
Pretty decent, not bad. It was only like 8 minutes or something like that. But it was still really good. These chicks, man, they're both so short. Like I think they're both like 5'1" or something. Like they're both super super short.
I realized Ember was that short.
Yeah, like I'm always just like, oh, she's not that short, and then I see her like next to Alexa, or standing with like the other chicks, just like, oh wow, like
she's a lot shorter than I thought.
She's a lot shorter than I like. Yeah, I think she's like a smidge taller than Alexa, like hardly, it's all whatever. But the No Way Jose Baron Corbin thing didn't really do much. The Breezango versus the B Team, I liked them.
Didn't see that.
That segment was funny. And the contract signing, I agreed, that was good. I liked that. Yeah, it did kind of make them look stupid, but for the storyline, for the storyline thing, it makes sense. It's just like, yeah, you're trying to tell a story. Like, if you're gonna pick apart the convenience of every storyline ever, like I remember like this one guy was talking about like Lord of the Rings. Like, why does the movie just happen to pick up when Frodo finds the ring or whatever? And I'm just like, okay, you're nitpicking too much. Like, how does the movie just happen to pick up when that starts? And I'm just like, okay, like that's a stupid thing to bring. Like, why does the movie just so happen to start at that point? Because it's a movie, idiot. Like,
exactly. Well, and the whole thing, like I thought Stephanie did a great job. She reminded me of Vince back in the day when he would try to do this kind of thing too. So. Yeah, the segment worked, even though you could poke holes, like a ton of holes in it. It worked. It worked well.
It did. It really, really did. And so yeah, I hope that it is a storyline thing because I don't want them to push Ronda too soon. I think she does deserve a time with the championship.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like she just needs to kind of earn her stripes a bit more. And like you said, she's like the marquee value. Yep. She doesn't need to be. She can be like Piper or like Andre or somebody who like. They have the marquee value. You're there to see them in their glory, be all cool. Like you don't really want to see, them as the champion because like Ronda's like such a legit, fighter. Like she's like, like she just took to it like a duck takes to water. Like like you and I were just blown away by the WrestleMania match, and everybody was. But yeah, like I want to see her build up more experience before they just rocket her, into the stratosphere here. And yeah, I think Nia does deserve a lot longer reign to just end it by this quote unquote newbie, and stuff like that. So like I think both of them deserve better because you don't want right now because I think Ronda you don't want to kind of paint yourself into a corner just like you put the championship on her too soon kind of thing. So yeah, but I'll wait to see what happens and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, I agree with you. I think something will happen. I think this is to get people interested. This is to get eyes on the pay-per-view and stuff like that. And then the storyline thing will happen or whatever.
Like Shinsuke and AJ this past time. It's like you were upset and frustrated at WrestleMania, but then you see the full picture and it's like or a fuller picture.
Yeah, and it's panning out quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a movie that starts off with a really cruddy scene. You're like, and then like by the end of the movie, you're like, okay, I liked it.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. That's the thing that we need to, as wrestling fans, especially as wrestling critics, understand. If something looks weird in the beginning, you just got to stop and see where it goes. Now, you can look back at some things and be like, okay, that was really, really stupid.
Mhm.
But I think this is one of those things that it's not going to be stupid. I think it'll be as good as they make it.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get their goal.
Yeah, hopefully this will be like, I mean, because every single match they've had was better than the last, and I hope that trend continues at Money in the Bank, because that has, but since it's a last man standing match, anything goes.
Mhm.
So I hope that they just, go all out, do all kinds of cool stuff, jump off ladders, do phenomenal forearms onto the announce table, do 450 splashes, do Keen Sashas off of ladders, I hope they do all kinds of cool stuff. So
Yeah, I long for the days of Falls Count Anywhere matches again.
yeah, like that's what they should make Extreme Rules matches be.
Yes,
Like
I
extreme,
agree.
like they should bring back like Extreme Rules matches should be like hardcore matches where they can be, they can end on the stage, they can end in the, fallout of all the announce tables being crushed. They
Yeah.
can, like that's what they should do. So
But as far as the AJ Shinsuke match, I kind of hope that they can figure out a way to extend it. Like, because this is last man standing, I want them to see if they could figure out if they can both be counted out. You know what I mean? Like something to where it's a tie again. I know that people hate that, but I want to see this extend, and I don't know. Anyway, that's a different story. Sorry, back to Raw.
Yeah, so the Chad Gable versus the Dolph Ziggler match wasn't bad. So they probably cut that out too, didn't
Yep.
they? Yeah. The women's Money in the Bank qualifying match, that Natalya won. I liked that. I like what they're doing with all the qualifying matches. Like it almost has a tournament type feel to it, which I like. And it's like, hey, we're all fighting toward an opportunity here, and so like there's something to be had. It's not just matches because like it's storyline matches, but it's not just this match is like, okay, you two just go out there and have a match, and then she'll run out and then attack her, and yeah, like they're storyline matches, but they're driving somewhere. It's not just you two go out and have a match so she can come out and fight, interrupt the match or whatever. So
yeah, and like you said, it feels like a tournament style, but each match is different, and so that's what I respect about this.
Yeah.
This tournament, non-tournament.
Yeah, there you go. And then I really really liked the main event too of Braun Strowman and Finn Balor. It's really really good. I really liked it. I didn't get that same feeling you had where it kind of like lulled or felt like they were extending it. Like I think just because they allowed Finn to get so much offense in and be and really shine in it,
Yep.
so like that was cool. I really hope he's the guy. Him and Samoa Joe are tied for number one. Is who I want to see win the briefcase.
Agreed.
I can't. It's hard for me to choose between which one I think would be better. It's really really tough. But yeah, I really liked the match. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was good. Both guys good. Braun has come such a long way over being this super super green guy, who was like the fourth most important member of a 4-man stable, and is now one of the biggest stars. Like they've done a good job booking him, man, and stuff like that. And I think he could be sort of an Andre type guy where he doesn't need to ever win a championship or anything just because he's such a big force. But like I think his day will come. I think they'll give him a reign with the belt or something like that for sure. Whichever belt it is, one of the four. But so yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I thought this edition of Raw was really good.
It was better than people say it is.
I'd agree too, man. So 100%. So anything else?
Not that I can remember.
All right. Well, report card time. So Jeremy, this edition, Monday, May 21st, 2018 of Raw. What did you think? What would you give it?
I was entertained. I'm gonna give it a B plus. Our regular, it's nothing great, but it still wasn't worth a B. I mean, even with the Lashley's sisters. Sammy did a great job. So there's that. So even with that, I'll give it a B plus because I thoroughly enjoyed it. So entertained. What about you?
Yeah, I would give it a B plus as well. I really enjoyed it. I was entertained by it. Yeah, I just enjoyed everything that was going on. I'm really interested to see what will happen with everything. Yeah, I just really enjoyed it, man. Yeah, that one thing was really goofy, but everything else that happened was great. I quite enjoyed it, so I would give it a B plus as well.
All right. Well, moving from Monday Night Raw, we go to SmackDown Live. Tuesday SmackDown Live. I don't know. Well, there is that where SmackDown Live. There is that news that SmackDown Live will be moving to Fox come 2019 sometime, and so it sounds like they're wanting to move it to Thursday. So I'm glad they didn't they didn't like name it Tuesday SmackDown Live. But I mean, there's a bunch of implications.
Do you think it'll still be live, or do you think that it'll be taped?
I don't know. I'm hoping for live. I think they can do live.
I don't know why they wouldn't.
Yeah, they've done live. They've done live on USA. They've done live even through Facebook, for that matter. So I think they could do live on Fox, but we really don't know all the details. But Fox seems to be paying them tons of money for 5 years.
Yeah, no, Fox just lost UFC to ESPN, so they got to get a ridiculous amount of money somehow.
Yep. And that can do it. And so, anyway, with that being said, SmackDown Live right now on Tuesday night, probably moving to Thursday sometime in 2019. Caleb, what are your thoughts about this show?
Well, I really liked this edition of SmackDown as well. Started off, I've been really bad about forgetting stuff the past month and a half or so. So I just have the recap in front of me from Bleacher Report. They do a really good job of that. So just gonna be reading off of this. The New Day on Miz TV. I loved this segment. Miz TV is great. Miz is Ric Flair, the Ric Flair of his generation. He's done such a great job with everything he's been given. Even if it's something that sucks, he finds a way to make it entertaining. So this segment was good. New Day, they're great together. They pop for each other all the time, and the way they go to bat for each other all the time is good. It's believable, and I love Miz trying to sow seeds of dissension in between them over who will be and who should be chosen to be in the ladder match. I don't know who they're gonna pick. Of the three, I think it would be fun to see Big E in it because I feel like, he is, he's the big guy of the team. So I feel like, the other two guys are a bit more, agile and athletic, and so they get to show off a bit more and stuff like that than he does. So I think it would be kind of cool for him to get that spotlight. But yeah, I thought it was great, and I loved Miz when he was just like, "Oh God, I can get you to do anything," to the crowd.
Yeah.
That was funny. And then I loved New Day. It was an amazing segment, and the way it ended with New Day just throwing the pancakes in his face shame. That was hilarious. That was awesome. And then Miz and Big E had a match, which wasn't bad, but Miz won, so that was very intriguing. Because the Bar attacked Kingston and Woods, so I would love to kind of see the A-lister join forces with the Bar, actually join forces and kind of, not a faction, but start an alliance and stuff like that. And so I think that would be really cool. And I thought it was funny when Woods was on commentary and he said to Corey Graves, he's like, "Ah, you're no Michael Cole."
That was funny.
That was really funny. I thought that was good.
I like my favorite part about the match was in the middle of it. Big E sits down and they give him the syrup and then Nick spits it out and then
they did the boxing corner. They did the cornerman thing they do in boxing. Yeah, that was clever. You're right. Yeah, that was hilarious. That was great, man. And then I loved the Lana Day thing. I loved the Lana and Aiden English thing. I thought that was good. And the fact that Lana won is even crazier. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I liked that whole segment. And then another Alma squash match, which I'm sure that they're doing this and just to kind of get some wins under his belt. up on the main roster, and also so they could figure out what to do with him next. I don't know what they would do. Like, I don't know. It's tough, because it's just like, like as good as Almas is, like you can't have him feud with somebody like Randy Orton. Randy Orton's like a foot taller than him, and like.
But that would be a great match.
It'd be an amazing match, but like just like to be like your first big match, like build him up to that point maybe, but like or something like that. He needs to face like a tweener type guy, a guy who can believably beat heavyweights and cruiserweights. Somebody like AJ or Shinsuke or who's that other guy that I just thought of, and his mind he now escapes my mind. Anyways, Daniel Bryan. Gosh, why did I not? Why did I forget that?
Daniel Bryan versus anybody on the roster is what I'm looking for too. I'm glad they're using. I don't know if Daniel is appreciative of it, but I'm glad they're using him in this way where they're getting a lot of matches that I would love to see, feuds like Jeff Hardy. I want to see that again. I want to see him and Samoa Joe. We're going to see that this coming week. I just want to see Daniel Bryan versus the world.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. And even on Andrade, like you said, he is such a great talent. Yeah, they're building him up. I don't know who knows where they're going to go with him, but I look forward to seeing where they go.
Yeah, totally, man. And then the AJ Shinsuke thing, I quite enjoyed that. Their standoff and stuff like, and I love the match will be a pillow fight, and then
brilliant.
That was fun, and then like the way he was like laughing, just like roasted, gotcha, like that was funny, and then when he just like smacked AJ out of the air with the chair, that was pretty rad. And so I just love that Shinsuke being a heel, he just feels so free now. Like it seems like they can do anything with him, and he can do anything.
Yep.
And so like that's really cool, and I love when he's just like oh, guess what? Last man standing match. And it's like, all right, cool. Can't wait to see that. Like that'll be really awesome, man. And then the Usos and the Gallows and Anderson match, I really really liked. I'm glad Gallows and Anderson won because the New Day just had that awesome reign, that awesome so they can kind of chill in the background for a little bit and stuff like that, But I loved. One of my favorite moments was, them kind of roasting each other and going back and forth, and where he's just like, hey, this ain't Japan Us, this ain't Monday Night Raw, this is SmackDown Live, where the Usos reside. Like, all that stuff was cool. I loved all the back and forth banter and stuff.
Yeah, and Carl on the mic is just fantastic. I love that Carl kept calling them Us. I just everything our Carl said was great for me. I really enjoyed that.
It was great. Yeah, it was awesome. I liked it. The Naomi Sonya Deville match, I liked that too. Like honestly, like that was done well. Like I just thought that like just because I hadn't seen Sonya Deville in a one-on-one match where she didn't have like anybody, or anything like so, and then just to kind of throw her up against former women's champion and one of the most ridiculously talented athletes in WWE, like it was done well. Like I thought it was done quite well. And then the Daniel Bryan versus Jeff Hardy thing was awesome. And Samoa Joe being on commentary, being very subdued.
Yeah.
But you could still kind of hear like he's just like, oh okay, just chill, man, just be chill. Like it sounded like he was very chill and subdued, but it sounded like he was trying not to get fired up and not just charge the ring and stuff like that, just because he's like they're painting him very much as this prize fighter guy, this guy who's just like who very much kind of a Brock Lesnar type of just like, I just want to fight. I just want to mess guys up.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who's in the ring.
Exactly. And so that whole thing was good, and the match especially. The match was great. I thought the match was really good. I would love to see a full-on feud between these guys. Like you're absolutely right. This could be a good, and it would work as a face versus face because neither one of these guys is going to get booed. Nope. It's just not going to happen. And turning either one of them heel in a feud would feel forced, and nobody would want to see it. These are two of the most beloved superstars, not just right now, but of all time. Yeah. And so it's like these are two guys who, unless it's done well, I don't want to see be heels and stuff like that. But
because both of them could do that whole thing. Daniel does it more than Jeff, but they could both get crazy eyes during halfway through the match.
Yeah.
And still not like because that's what Cena did in the match with AJ Styles at
The Royal Rumble last year.
Royal Rumble last year, where he gets crazy eyes. He's not heel, but he gets crazy eyes, and he's determined, and he's frustrated, and he's angered, and stuff. And so both of those guys could get to that point where they're so frustrated, so angry, and get angry eyes, but still not be a heel.
Mm-hmm.
So you're absolutely right. At least these two guys could do it.
Yeah. For sure. And and Randy Orton, like we talked about, is just in that sort of true neutral area where
Yep.
he doesn't need to be heel, he doesn't need to be face, because he is just like that Clint Eastwood man with no name. Like, hey, I'm just gonna look out for number one, and I'm number one.
Chaotic neutral is what he is.
Yeah. So, yeah, and so yeah, I think that could work totally with these two guys, and yeah, I would love to see a full-on feud. Like, yeah, and I'm just it's just it's stuff like this that just makes me thankful that the Hardy Boys are back, because they are still popular, they can still go, and people still love them, and Daniel Bryan being back and stuff like that. Like, I just still can't believe Daniel Bryan's back. It's awesome. Like, if nobody out there, you should listen to the Talk is Jericho podcast he did last week with Daniel Bryan. It was really, really good. It was really cool. So it was awesome. I thought it was a great addition of SmackDown Live. What did you think about it? What all was all kind of stuff you liked?
Yeah, everything you said. New Day. I like the fact that the New Day are quote unquote keeping it under wraps. I wonder if they even know who's going to be it. It also drags out the Money in the Bank stuff as well. I mean, I hope we don't find out until like the week of Money in the Bank who it will be.
I think it'd be funny to announce it the night.
The night of?
Yeah, like
that
the
would
pay-per-view.
That's true. We've come to a decision. And then
yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I agree with that. And so yeah, I would agree with that. So I liked that segment. It was really, really good. I like the fact it's gonna be me. Like all of them did that. I thought that was great.
Yeah, that was good.
The Miz messing up Fortnite. I thought that was
And
pretty.
he paid it in it.
Fort Line or Fort whatever. I don't even play a game.
Yeah. He's like, I don't even play a game. Yeah, it was good.
But he's done this. He's done this numerous times where he flubs up his words. But it doesn't matter. It's the Miz. He can still he pulls it off. So yeah, I liked the first segment. I liked the match. I liked all the involvement. I loved the syrup in the mouth to spit out. Just all of that was really good. The Lana thing was surprising. Obviously, it wasn't a wrestling match. It was a 2-move thing. The kick looked sick. Don't get me wrong. That kick looked amazing. And then her finisher.
The sit-out face buster.
Yeah. Which I'd rather it was something else, but
yeah, like she used to do the sit-out spine buster. I don't know why she's not doing that anymore.
I don't know. And she had been practicing when she was going around touring with NXT. She had been doing a.
Because wasn't that Xbox finishers? Didn't he do the sit-out face buster? Yeah.
She was doing the fisherman driver, and so I don't know why she's not doing that. I'd like to see that. But that was really nice. She looked good in that. I'm trying to think of what else that I really enjoyed. I liked the Shinsuke and AJ conversation. I thought that was great. The pillow fight. I just died laughing once he said that. I was like, oh, that's great. And then how he destroyed AJ afterwards and did the 10 count. I really like that.
Yes, that was great. Yeah, I forgot about the 10 count thing. Yeah, that was brilliant.
Andrade, he looked really good in the match, even though it was a squash match. And it was nice because the guy he was squashing actually got some stuff in too, so that was good. I am interested in seeing where they go. I'm trying to think what else I want to talk about. I thought Sonya looked the best she's ever looked. I was really surprised how well she and Naomi meshed well together. I thought they meshed well together, which was surprising to me because Sonya is more of a ground and pound, whereas Naomi is not, and so I felt they put Sonya with the right person, and Sonya actually looked good as well. And so I really did like that match a lot. I liked the Carl Anderson and Gallows. I liked their conversation with the Usos. That was really well done. What else was there? What else did you say? Yeah, Jeff Hardy, Daniel Bryan was a great match. I'm Samoa Joe is not technically in the Money in the Bank match right now, so he has to go through Daniel Bryan. I don't think Cass is really injured.
Yeah,
I have a feeling Cass will come in and make Joe the final participant in the Money in the Bank ladder match, because I think we're not done with Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. I think all that stuff is especially because they showed him in the backstage with, I don't know where they got I don't know where they got crutches tall enough for that dude. That was my first thought. I was like,
do they make crutches for 6'10" people?
I guess.
I mean, NBA players get hurt, so I guess they have to.
Yeah, that's true. I bet they're taller than me. That's all I gotta say. I gotta think about it. So I don't think Cass is hurt. I think he'll show up at Money in the Bank and interfere, or not Money in the Bank. Show up next week and interfere between Joe and Daniel, and I think Daniel and Cass will be at Money in the Bank as their final match with that feud. What else?
I think that's about it.
Yeah. One thing that was pointed out when I was listening, I don't know what I was listening to or reading, is that Sanity was not talked about this week. I don't know.
Yeah, because they haven't been on the show yet.
Nope, they haven't been on the show yet.
Yeah,
People are frustrated with that because they are a great group. It makes me wonder if they're going to show up at Money in the Bank. I know. I mean, we haven't heard about them unless they show up next week against something to do something. But we haven't heard about them. They didn't say anything about them coming to SmackDown Live last week. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully they didn't shy away from the group.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to hold off until Nikki can come out. But I hope not. I hope they get Sanity in there as soon as possible. Because they're really good. I really can't wait for them to see them on the main roster. But other than that, I can't think of anything else about SmackDown. I thought it was a pretty good show.
All right, cool. So, report card time.
What about you? What do you think? What would you give it?
I think I'd give it a B+ as well, man. I just really enjoyed it. I do think it was better than Raw. Yeah, it gets a B+ for me as well, man. It was good. Everything that happened felt like it had purpose. Everything that happened felt like it was driving towards something, and I just really enjoyed everything that happened. There was really nothing bad about it. It kind of is holding back that I thought was holding it back at all. I hope that Shane and Daniel Bryan, or Shane and Randy can come back ASAP. Because I feel like they're kind of. I mean, SmackDown Live is fine without them. Like it's totally fine without them. But I feel like after a while their presence will be missed. So, but yeah, man, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. It's done really well.
Well, I will give it an A-. I was going to give it a B++ because I thought it was a tad better than Raw, but as we talked about it, as I thought about it, I liked it better than Raw, and so I'm going to give it an A- because of that.
Okay, cool. Well, got a little time to play here. We'll discuss Money in the Bank a little bit. Just kind of talk about our thoughts on how the build to it has been so far, and what we think will happen, what should happen, who we think might win the briefcases, and if anybody will, any surprises will come about. So, Jeremy, any kind of thing any thoughts about Money in the Bank that you've had that you think might happen, or any surprises, or any big wins that you foresee, or who do you think will win the briefcases, or who do you think should win? What your take is on it?
I feel like they've definitely put over the briefcase.
Yeah.
By having all these people wanting the briefcase, even having Daniel Bryan, the thing is, the briefcase will give you an automatic guarantee at a match for a title.
Yeah.
And usually those are done after a guy has been weakened, and so you can pretty much win the title. There have been a handful of people that didn't win the title, and so the build for Money in the Bank, at least the 2 matches, has been good because they're putting over the briefcase really, really well. Everybody wants the briefcase, and I think also with Carmella just cashing in the briefcase, I think she put over the briefcase. Good grief. She put over the briefcase while she had it, and so I think the build to Money in the Bank proper has been really well done. As far as who will win either briefcase, I have no idea. I want to say Ruby might win the gauntlet match next week. I think I would rather see Ruby in the women's match more than anybody else. If Charlotte doesn't win it, I could see Becky winning it. I think pushing Ember right now is not necessarily the greatest idea. But she deserves it more than. I think she deserves it as much as anybody else, for that matter.
Just the time though isn't.
Yeah, right? Just the timing isn't as.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
But with that being said, I didn't know this, but because I didn't watch wrestling for the longest time, but apparently Paige, her first night on Raw, she won, or whatever she was on, she won the championship.
Yeah.
Or the Diva Championship, and so there is precedent where that has happened. So I think it's either gonna be Flair or Lynch. But that match is going to be interesting. I don't see Lana lasting a whole lot. Blech. I don't see Lana lasting in the ring very long. I think she'll be taken out quite a bit earlier. As far as the men's, I think it could be any one of these guys.
Yeah.
I would like to see Joe or Finn win it, but you can make a case for The Miz. You can make a case for Braun winning it. I don't think you can. I think you could probably try to make a case for Rusev, Bobby Roode, and Kevin Owens, but I think it's a less likely.
Yeah,
chance.
I don't feel like Braun really needs it right now. I feel like he did, especially since he won the Greatest Royal Rumble and all that.
And again, he's an attraction, and so he doesn't need a belt at all.
Yeah.
So yeah. We still have to figure out. We still have to find out which New Day member is going to be in it, and we still have to find out who's going to win between Joe and Bryan. So we'll have to wait for that. But I think a strong case can be made for Balor, since he's definite in there, and if Joe wins, I think there's going to be a super strong case for that, because I think Joe and AJ is the next feud. Even though I wonder if Shinsuke is going to win at. I don't think Shinsuke is going to win. I don't think Shinsuke is going to win at Money in the Bank, even though he kind of should. But I don't think he will. But as far as anything else goes, there are a lot of kind of B card matches, sorta. I think Nia's going to win, but I think that's going to be because of Stephanie or somebody. I think Asuka could win, depending. The Roman Reigns Jinder match, I kind of wonder if they're putting Roman and Jinder together to give Roman more of a pop, because everybody hates Jinder.
Yeah, that's that's what I'm thinking.
And the Bludgeon Brothers versus Carl and Gallows and Anderson, I think it'll be an okay match, but I don't really care. Sad to say, I'm sure they'll give us an outstanding match. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
So those are my thoughts. I'm hoping somebody debuts. I'm hoping someone like I said, the Sanity debuts. But other than that, I just don't know. I think, like we said before, there's still 3 or so weeks. To go. So we still have build to build. So.
Still build to build. Yeah.
What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think Crud. Just lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, for the women's, I was thinking that it would be Becky or Ember. I feel like Ember could win the briefcase and hold on to it even for a while.
I would agree.
Like, have a heel, like, I don't know who it would be, but, beat Nia or something, or turn Nia heel or something. I don't, like, I wouldn't turn Nia heel personally, but, like, because Ember's so over, she's one of the best faces that the women's division has, like, ever since she came up. And so I feel like what they should do is, either have Alexa win it back, like, via shenanigans, and then have Ember cash in on Alexa or something. Like, because if Ember wins it, which, would be awesome, like, she can hold on to it for, like, until next year's Money in the Bank, Like, that's the next year's Money in the Bank is when the contract expires, so, even if she, if she holds it until, WrestleMania and cashes in there even, like, there's so much stuff you can do. So, like, I think Ember, for me, would probably be the safe bet, but, like, Becky Lynch is just kind of like, she was the first winner of the SmackDown Women's title. She held it for 3 months and then she lost it and hasn't had it since. And I feel like she could definitely use another turn with it and stuff like that. So yeah, I would, if you like choose, like, for me it's one of those two. It's either going to be Becky or Ember, I think, and I think probably Ember would be the more safe bet of the two, just because I don't think Charlotte needs it. Charlotte had a good long run. She had a good thing. She doesn't need it for a while. And I feel like Asuka, I mean, 'cause she's not in the match, is she? She's going to challenge for the title.
Yeah, it's Carmella versus.
Yeah, she's facing at the. So yeah, because I feel like she'll beat Carmella maybe, and hold it for a while, for quite a while actually. But yeah, but for the men's, I think it should be Joe or Finn, and I think it will be Joe or Finn. I feel like, win, lose, or draw of the WWE Championship, I feel like, yeah, AJ feuding with Samoa Joe would be the absolute best thing to do right now. That would be awesome.
Absolutely.
So awesome. And then, like I said, for the title or not, and then whoever, Shinsuke has the title, have him feud with whoever, I think that'd be cool. But, like, yeah, I would love to see Joe or Finn win it. Like, because maybe, who knows, maybe that's why they're dragging out the Roman Brock thing, because they, want Finn to beat Brock they want Finn to cash in on Brock or something like that. I don't know, but I think that would be cool. So to be Finn or Joe, and I think it will be one of those two. So that's my thoughts on Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, even though I probably won't be able to watch it for weeks after the event.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be lots of fun. Can't wait for it. Anything else before we ride off into the sunset for our long break?
We're awesome.
Awesome.
Wiki word.
All right, cool. Well, nothing else. I guess we will, like I said, ride off into the sunset for the next several months for our break. We'll probably be back, like we said, around SummerSlam time. I'm pretty sure that'll be the next big thing that we will be discussing, and all that. So,
trails to you.
So long, farewell.
We meet again. I'll be the same. Goodbye.
So long, farewell. I bid you all goodbye. RKO to you and you and you and you. All right, wrestling fans, thanks for stopping by once again. We will see you guys come August. Everybody out there, enjoy your summer. This is Caleb.
This is Jeremy.
Signing off.
Peace.